And we're gonna go that way because the wind is blowing that way. Go.
Oh,
Go
nice.
down there, and they'll make a right at the end of the block,
Right. Yeah.
and off they go. So the mountain that you're looking at is
There.
where the eagle. The eagle went that way to the mountain, and they followed him over there.
Wow. Right there. There.
Here they come. They're gonna have a look.
Hope
he's
is excited.
ready.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's ready.
Hoppy, wait. Wait until they're back.
If you know people,
Right on.
I read he was in the newspaper, the Tribune.
yeah.
Oh yeah?
She's gonna fly her bird just like what she sees.
Oh. Oh,
Uh-huh.
Parks up there with other macaws, and
Are you ready, Hoppy?
cool. Bird.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have fun with this.
Thank you.
They're cool.
what's that?
All the time.
Like it would be like.
We gotta.
Where are they, Hoppy?
I met a guy from St. Shane the other day.
Really cool.
Where are they? Hoppy, where are they? It's already 2 minutes? Where are they, Hoppy? Where are they? Where are they? Oh, where are they, baby? You see them? You see them? So we are right now here with Vern and his macaws, and he just released those two macaws. I don't know where they are. He just took off, and I was just waiting for them to come back. And Hope is totally ready to fly. This is totally a residential neighborhood. We have never been here before. This is really a new location. Really new location. Yeah, Hope is totally ready to fly. We drove 3 hours down here just to meet Vern and his macaws. And yeah, now we're waiting for them to come back. Right, Hoppy? Uh-huh. There they are. They landed in your house?
Yeah. When we weren't looking.
Okay. So let's get him off the harness. Are you ready to fly, Hoppy?
Yeah, you're ready.
Recording. Okay. We are ready.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Go! Good boy!
Oh yeah, he knows how to fly. Watch out for the wires and whatnot. Oh,
Good
yeah.
boy, Hoppy!
He's good.
Good boy! There they are.
Oh yeah, he's having a good time.
Nice flying, Hoppy! I see him. I see them. Coming back.
Oh yeah, she'll always bring him back to the
Good boy! Hoppy! He's following them.
tree. Yeah, they're gonna go around a bunch.
There you are. Good boy, Hoppy!
He's having fun.
Good boy! Good boy! Come.
Hi there. Okay. Right here.
Nice! Whoa, there you guys! Nice
Yeah.
flying, boys and girls! Whoa! Go!
There they go. He's showing them how. He's showing off, by the way.
Isn't it beautiful to see birds flying, flocking together?
They may take him down over by Santa Rosa Street, come back up over here. Or they go over to the railroad depot, over by those eucalyptus trees.
I see.
There
Ah, there you guys are! Good boy, Hoppy!
There they-
Nice! She likes
You like
him.
her, huh? Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, hope you have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
You
look
have
at
a
your little eyes are
girlfriend.
contracting and dilating. Yeah,
She
it's a
likes him
boy.
too?
Yeah, he's a good flyer too. Oh, be nice. Be nice. One time I had her on the ground and she started walking
No,
diagonally.
no, you're not gonna walk there. You're gonna stay right here.
And she was making her way back to the house and then she took off. Where are you going?
You wanna go fly one more time? With Daddy one? Such a good boy. Such a good flyer too. Such a good flyer.
This young lady drove all the way from Pasadena to bring her bird to fly with my birds. You see her?
Yeah.
You just pooped on my shoe.
Oh!
Thank you.
You like birds?
Yes.
Well, let's see. We'll go over here. There you go. Okay? It's all right? But my two birds, this one and the one up there on the right, they've been flying for 5 years. So they know the whole town. They've actually, they fly on the other side of that hill and then go out on South Higuera.
And they go
see
back
Prague, whatever.
again.
Then they
Oh
see
my
the whole town and
gosh,
then they come back.
amazing.
Anyway, he's a good boy.
Where? Show me the
Oh
muscles
yeah,
too.
muscles here, muscles here.
Where are your muscles?
Look at the muscles, huh?
Oh, chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken wings.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Uh-huh. Beautiful. Beautiful colors, Killian. What is that? A seagull? Yeah,
Seagull.
So this is Vern Ludwick.
Hi.
That
Yep.
he's free flying his macaws downtown.
Yep.
And they're just Killian and George, and
Killian
they're
and George.
just going and grazing tourists and people. And I drove all the way to from Pasadena to meet him and to fly Hope with his birds today.
And if you turn the camera around, you can see Killian sitting on the corner, which is where he sits all the time when if he doesn't come back straight back to the house. And they all have been flying together, which is really cool.
They had, what,
it's-
3 or 4 good flights together?
Yeah. And this is the first time that my birds have actually flown with another macaw up and about.
Wow. Nobody else came visit you to free fly?
No, not yet. Not yet. So now with you putting up videos on YouTube, I'm sure that there'll be all kinds of people flocking.
To fly the birds. There's a big community actually about free flyers.
Yeah.
There's also the California Free Flyers page. I'm gonna add you. Are you on Facebook?
No.
You don't want to be?
No, well, no, yeah, you can put me on there. So anyway, it's about 92 degrees out, and they don't like to fly when it's this hot, but they like when there's a little bit of a breeze, and they like to go out in the morning about 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and they like to stay indoors like all afternoon until about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then they like to go places. And they like to fly up until the street light comes on because they don't see after dark. And so they really enjoy flying just before the street lights come on because it's cool and they can go and go and go, which maybe we'll get that on video before the day is over.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So tell me, how did you get started in free flying?
Well, the one that's up in the tree when she was a baby, when she learned how to fly at 10 months or whatever, she would always land on me. So I opened up the front door and I let her fly out, and she spent the night in a tree about a block and a half from my house. And then she came back down the next morning about 7:30, wanted to have breakfast, and then she wanted to go out again. So I let her out again, and she was gone for 6 hours, and she went all over town, went to every palm tree.
How old was she?
She's like 11 months old or whatever. And so then
And you never wanted to clip the wing?
No, I don't believe in clipping their wings. And actually the lady that helped me raise her, because the mother didn't know how to regurgitate, I guess. Anyway, she...
No, sorry.
Anyway, I fed her for 9 months, so we had a pretty good bond. And, feeding a bird 5 times a day with a syringe for 9 months. And anyway, so she came back down, and then the other bird that's sitting here, Killian, he was afraid of going outside, and so I would take him from the walkway and fly him to the front porch over and over and over. Come to find out, he had a bad experience when he was little, and so he doesn't like trees. And
what happened in the tree? You know what
it was
happened?
like a holly bush or something. It was stickery. And so, hi.
Gross.
There are birds everywhere. There's two in the tree. That tree over there. Anyhow,
Yeah.
so they started flying together, and it's been 5 years now, and so they see all of downtown San Luis. They basically stay
In the area.
because we're mountains on all sides, and so they're in this little valley here, and they're quite good at flying. But when the street lights come on, and they have to go to bed because they crash into things. They
And
don't
you never took a free flight lesson,
No.
or you never even took classes or
No.
anything.
No-
You just
no
let
harness.
them fly, and they just came back.
No harness or anything. Yeah, I
Wow.
flew him from the walkway and then the sidewalk all the way down to the corner. So he would fly from the corner up the sidewalk and then make a hard left to go to my front porch. And then when they got together, I let them fly together, and they took off, and they went all the way to where the hardware store is on the other side of town, south side of town, and they zigzagged back and forth. Well, what was George, the girl, was showing Killian the town. She was zigzagging back and
Wow.
forth and back and forth and back and forth. And
That's
so now
amazing.
they know the whole area, and all the tourists like them, and
Yeah.
they get their picture taken all the time. I've had people take pictures from every continent. And I met a guy from Beijing the other day, which was really interesting because he was mesmerized by the birds. And I told him, I said, well, you get back to Beijing. I said, take some pictures of Beijing and send them to me. So anyway.
You know what was funny? Like, before I even got Hope, I didn't even know what was free flying.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was in this Facebook group 911 Parrot Rescue
Okay.
for flyaway birds, and somebody posted a picture of your two birds sitting on a tree, and they thought it was flyaways, like bird sighting, macaw sighting.
Yeah.
And then they figure out like really fast, that they are free flighted. And that's the first time I hear about free flight. I was like, what is free flight? I've never heard anything about that before. And it was really interesting because that was the first time in that parrot site that I parrot group, Facebook group, that I hear about parrot free flying. So I check it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah, for me, the best part of having these birds, well, the interaction, because they all have different personalities.
Yeah.
And some have a higher IQ maybe, but it's watching them fly and having other people watch them fly.
Yeah.
But I would never ever cut a bird's wings.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing to do.
It's like chopping off a kid's legs.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like
yeah.
A bird is meant to
If
fly.
you cut their wings off and they fall, they're going to hurt themselves. And if something were trying to attack them, they couldn't get away. It's just the wrong thing to do. And many people do that because
They don't know better.
Well, no, because the birds are expensive and they don't want to lose them.
Plus, they don't know better because that's the norm.
And I've heard horror stories where the bird gets out and he flies away, so immediately they cut the bird's wings,
Yeah.
but they don't do it correctly. So the next time the bird decides to go someplace, like this one guy lives up on the top of a hill, and the bird took off and he kept going and going and going. Well, he was going downhill on a glide, and he crash landed somewhere, and the guy let him die because he didn't know that he could just walk over there and pick him up. He didn't know where he went. And so, that was 10 years ago, and the bird's dead, and I didn't know the guy at the time, but I could have gone out there and found him. And instead, the poor bird died a horrible death, starving to death. But, it's a horrible thing to do. And usually when macaws go out, if they've never been out before, they're only going to go a short distance, and they're going to go in a circle. They're going to land in a tree, and they're going to stay there for overnight and maybe for 3 days. So, and then they want to come home because, that's all they know. So never ever cut their wings. It's a horrible thing to do.
Yeah.
So let me get this.
Okay, we're gonna count down. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right.
We're gonna
Ready?
wait. 1,
2,
2, 3, go.
There you go. Wow. Scared the crap out of her.
Dive towards her.
George just left. You fly away. He's flying alone. He's coming. Oh, where are your birds? There they are. There they are. Good boy. Oh, nice flying, baby. You want to come down? Where are they? Oh. There you go. Nice! Come on, Ruby! Oh! Ruby, come! Nice! Come! Ruby, come! Nice! So thirsty. Flying makes thirsty, right? Oh, so thirsty is my baby. So thirsty. Yeah, good boy, Opie. Good boy. Oh, purple. Good boy. Some more? Some more?
And there's
Okay.
Tabasco.
Hi, Tabasco.
Hi. I think she likes him.
So cute together.
Yeah, the baby. Yeah. You say hi? Yeah.
Ah.
Be nice.
How old is Tabasco?
I think she's about 7.
Oh, are they kissing? No way.
Maybe. Yeah, it's a boy. He's awfully cute. Awfully cute. If you were neighbors, maybe.
Pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. Go perch,
Yeah.
baby. Go perch.
Say hello. Hello. You say hello. Looking at all this other stuff. No, be nice. Be nice. Okay. All right.
Is she exciting? Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
Huh? Where are you going? Tabasco.
So we're just hanging out at the street corner with birds. Sun is setting right now. The mountains looks really nice. We had beautiful flights. Beautiful. It's so much fun just to fly together and just make new friends. And
Be nice.
hi. Like the hornbeaks. My hope is like molting. His beak is kind of like chipping.
Oh, there's one in the tree?
There's one in the tree.
Okay, I thought I was hearing
Yeah, that was her. No, that's Lori, the girl. And she's the
So cars just stop randomly just to say hi and just to make pictures with our birds.
Oh, wow.
Hi. Yeah, I read about him in the paper.
Oh,
Yeah, if you go on the internet and you type in macaws, there's this book on YouTube.
oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Look that up.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Now those people just stop and say hi.
Oh, people all the time stop. You know, lots of locals and tourists. You know,
So
Come
nice
on.
here. So nice, hanging out.
she wants him to go again.
Oh, you guys are gorgeous. Right in front of this gorgeous house.
So it's a park right there. With the
Yeah,
tree.
it's a park.
And you said it was Fair Oak
Fair Oaks and Washington.
and Washington. Okay. Very nice. Such good children. So happy.
Look at how beautiful you are. I know. You have me, Hoppy. And you have little Angel.
And his girlfriend over here. Hi.
His new girlfriend.
Wow. You're not too sure, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's a boy. It's a boy. Yeah, she's gonna be. You're gonna be dreaming about that guy tonight, huh? Yeah. You silly.
Hi guys.
Okay.
Hi guys. Look here. Hope you check them out.
Almost that time.
Hope you check them out.
Chicken feathers.
Feather.
Oh, chicken feathers. Go.
Where are they? Where are they? The Bosco. Oh, he's talking. The Bosco. Oh, they're there. Go perch. Go perchy perch. Perch. Uh-huh. Wait. The Bosco. Where are they? Where did they go? Where did they go? Wow. Oh, they're there! They're there! Hi!
There they are. They didn't paddle
And they're coming back. There.
around.
And he's on the tree.
Got it. What's the reason for the parrots? Just for fun?